Hello students. So today we will discuss about data frame. So what is data frame? It is a two-dimensional data structure from the Python library Pandas. It's a type of data structure which stores data in the form of matrix, or you can say a to the table consisting of row and table columns. So if we want to define the data frame, we can define it as a two-dimensional tabular data structure with labeled axes. Means there are two axes and each of the axes have been given labeled as row and column. Okay, so there are some of the characteristics of a data frame. The first characteristic is that, as we have already discussed, it has two axes. The one is the row index and the another is the column index. Means the axis 0 is termed as the row index and the axis 1 is termed as the column index. Each value is identified with a combination of row index and column index. So as you have learned that data frame is a type of data structures which stores the data in the form of tabular. It is just like your Excel sheet where each of the value can be categorized using the row number and the column number. So here also, to identify each and every value in the data frame, it can be identified with the help of the row index and the column index. Okay, the index can be of any number, letter or string. Okay, both the column index and the row index can be of numbers, letter or string. And each column in the data frame can have data of different types. Each column means the combination of the row and column, the values or the data inside the data frame can be of any type. It may be a numeric data, it may be a string data, it may be a list or any type of data. Okay, data values in a data frame are mutable, means its value can be changed after after putting some values in a data frame. We can change the value of the data frame also. And data frame is also size mutable, means after creation of data frame, addition and deletion of row and column is possible. So it is just an example of a data frame. It's a structure of a data frame. As you can see here, this is the index 0 and this is index axis 0 and this is the axis 1. So axis 0 means it is the index level and the axis 1 means a column. It is termed as the columns. So these are the column names. So axis 1 is termed as a column and the axis 0 is termed as the index. Okay, so these are the index level, these are the values of the index and these are the values of the columns. And here you can see these are the data values. So each of the data value can be identified with the index and the column. So the row index and the column index. So this 79.50 is of the index 0 and the column mark. Cricket is from the index 0 and the column sports. So in this way the data frame are initialized. Okay, so how to create a data frame? The general syntax to create a data frame is this one, data frame object. So this is a name, identifier name. You can use any type of name depending upon the rules which should be followed to define an identifier. And after that we have to use equal to panda.dataframe. So panda is the library from which we are creating the data frame object. So this data frame is a function with the help of which we are creating the data frame object. So these are the arguments of the function. So data, index, column, data type. So these are some of the arguments of the functions, and depending upon different situation, some of the arguments are used or some may not be used also. It is not compulsory that every time you have to use all the arguments into create a data frame. Okay, so create your data frame. Whenever we will create any data frame, first of all we have to import two Python modules. One is the pandas and another is the numpy. NumPy is sometimes is not necessary, but pandas is always important. So always we have to import this library pandas. Okay. Now data frame can be created by using numbers of ways. Okay. So they can be created by using list, dictionaries, 2D dimensional array, series type object, or another data frame object. Okay, so one by one we will learn how to create a data frame using the list, dictionaries, series, ND array and another data frame. So first of all, before learning how to create the data frame using list and other type of other data structure, first of all we will learn how to create an empty data frame. So as I have told you, to create and to use the data frame, first of all we have to write the you have to import a pandas library. So we have to write the statement import pandas as PD. So this is optional. If you don't use it, then instead of this PD, we have to write here pandas. Okay, so this is an alias name for the library pandas. So after that, we have to name any data frame object. So I have given the name as df. So this have to be follow the rules what we use for defining any identifier. Then we have to use equal to then pd.dataframe. So pd is the alias name for the library pandas. Then this is the function. I have not used any type of argument here. In this case, it will create an empty data frame. Then to print the data frame, I have used the function print then df. Okay, so let us see how it works. I have already written this code in this script mode. So when I will run it, so you can see it's empty data frame. Okay, so column is empty, index is also empty. Okay, so just we have created an empty data frame here. Now we will go to the next part, creating a data frame from a list. How to create a data frame from a list. So data frame can be created using a single list or a list of lists. List of lists means every item of the list is also a list. Okay, so this is the first way from which we are creating a data frame using a single list, and this is the data frame which we are creating using a list of lists. Means each of the elements of the list, this list, outer list is also a list. Okay, so this will create a two-dimensional data. This will create a two column data. This will create a one column data frame. Okay, so let us execute it. So first of all, what we have to do is that we have to write the code here. So after this, we are using the list data equal to data is the name of the list. So after this, we are using a list 10 30 40 and 50. I am using 5 values inside the list. So when I will use this data frame df, I am creating this data frame, and here inside this data value I am writing as data. Okay, now print df. Now when I will run it, so what it is showing, so I have not mentioned the index value and the column value, both the index value and the column value. Okay, so that's why by default it is coming 0 from 0 1 2 3 4, just as the index which we have get in array list and all. Okay, so here we have only one column, that's why only 0, and these are the values. Okay, similarly using a list of list, how can we define it? So the same code I'm writing here, import pandas as PD. Okay, then we have the data, these are the list. Okay, Amit 10, Babita 12, and Samrat 13. So here what I will do is that I'm just changing the value here, data. I'm not writing a different code here. So here Amit, this is one list. Okay, one and list and first value of the outer list, then okay, I will close the outer list here. Now I am just calling this same data list here, and I will run it again and see what you will get here. So can you see here? So it has two columns now, Amit 10, Babita 20, Samrat 30. Now what if I want to give different names for this column? Okay, for this I will just change the code here. This is the data, then what I will write here, column, COLUMN, columns equal to name, name. So column is also the value of the column I'm using from a different list. Okay, so these values are name and age. Okay, so and here, so what I will give here, so again I will run it. So here instead of 0 or 1, it is giving the value name and age. Similarly, you can also change the row index here. Okay, so what we can do that is here with this column, again we have to use here index for the row index. We can use here, for example, roll 1, comma roll 2. Just I'm giving some value here to see how the row index and the column index work. So just giving some error here, I think. Okay, sorry. So here here column was 3, but here how many data you have? 3 data. So here you should have 3 rows. Okay, that's why it is giving an error. So there should be 3 index for the row. Okay, then I will save it. Can you see here these are the row index and these are the column index. So this way we can create a data frame using a list. Okay, so we will proceed to the next part, how to create a data frame used from a 2D dictionary having values as list or ND array. Okay, so 2D dictionary, you know that how the values in dictionary are stored using some key value and the corresponding values for that particular key. So what we will do here is that we will define the dictionary, okay, and the value of the dictionary will be either a list or ND array. Okay, now here this code, can you see this code? Import, this line is the compulsory to create any data frame. Then here I am creating one dictionary D1, which is equal to, this is the key value of the dictionary student, and these are the values of this key value. The student will have Amrita, Amit, Pavita and Dheeraj, and this is the second key value and these are the values. Now I am creating the data frame using the dictionary D1. So what it will create is that all the key values will act as a column index, okay, and this will be the values of that particular column, and the row index will be assigned as 0, as I have not mentioned the row index here. But even if you don't mention the column index while creating a data frame using dictionary, it will take the key of the dictionary as the column index. So let us write this code in a script, what it will come. So here import you have, then I'm using the value d1 equal to student then I'm not ending the dictionary here. This is the first value for the first key student. Okay, then the second key is marks, any value you can use. I am using the same value which I have written in the slide so that you can understand it better. So I will add it with it. Yeah, now the data dictionary D1 has been created. Now DF, what I am doing is that I am just cutting it. Yes, Now I will create the data frame, okay, using the dictionary D1. So data frame I am using DTF1, okay, equal to PD dot data frame, then D1. Okay, so I will create another data frame. So I will use another here what I will do is that I will create another data frame using the data here, but here as I have not used the index value, here I will use an index value with the same data frame, okay, and see the difference between the data frame df1 and df2. Okay, so dtf2, I'm just using pd dot data frame d1, same dictionary I'm using, but what I will do is that here I'm using the index value also, so that you can know that when without the index how it will represent, with the index value how it will represent. Okay, so as how many values you have? Only you have 4 values, 1 2 3 4. So this all these values will be the different rows, okay, and these are the columns. So you have value using a single quotation. You can use single or double quotation, any quotation you can use in Python. So this is the data index value, so also the list here. Now I will print for the data frame and see the difference. So let us print this one. Print DTF1, then print DTF2. Okay, and see the difference between these two. So you have to save it whenever you have to change it. Okay, so can you see the difference? First of all, it is showing student then marks. So you can see that the student and marks are the key values of the dictionary. So as I have told you, the key values of the dictionary will take as a column index. Okay, and these were the values of these keys. Okay, the student, these are the values of the student keys, and these were the values of the mark keys. Okay. Oh, sorry, I have written Amit 2 times. It should be different value. And here next what I have done, I have used the same dictionary, but here as I have not used the index value, okay, then that's why by default it has taken the value 0 1 2 3 like this. Then after that I have used the index equal to 1 2 3 4. That's why it has used the value 1 2 3 4. Okay, so let us change it here. This Amrita should be Amrita. That's why it came here. So I'm just saving it again. And I want to run it again. So it has changed now. So I hope you have understood how can we create a data frame using a 2D dictionary. Okay, and the value of the dictionaries is the list. Okay. Now creating a data frame from a 2D dictionary having values as dictionary object. So here the values was either a list or we can use an array also. Okay. So here the data frame object dft1 will have a default index as I have shown you. It will have a default index 0 1 2 3. But if you want to define a different index, then we have to use an index argument and give the values. Okay. Now when we want to create a data frame using a 2D dictionary where the values in the dictionary is a dictionary itself, in that case what will happen? So let us understand the code first. So import, this is a basic line which you have to use for using any data frame. So these are the dictionaries. Okay, see you have this is a dictionary and these are the key values. Okay, this is another dictionary, this is the key values. So what we have done is that I have created another dictionary. The D production is a dictionary where I have used one key value and each of the value of the key is another dictionary. Okay, so this is another key value and this is a dictionary value. This is a key value and this is another dictionary value. So what I have done is I have just used this 2D dictionary as the value for the data frame. So what will be the result? We will see here. Again the same thing, what we have done is that instead of the same, here you can see that all the dictionaries have the key values similar. Okay, so the dictionary year 2010, 2012, 2014 all have the same type of keys. Okay, so when it will be created, the data frame will be created, it will have the same column name. Okay, but what if all the keys of the inner dictionaries are not same? In that case, the values which the key value which is not matching will have the name none value. Okay, none means nothing. So I have given a note here: when the keys of the all the inner dictionaries are of the same name and numbers, same name, these are all the same names and numbers, the data frame object also have the same numbers of indexes. So the data frame object will also have the same number of indexes. But if they are different, then the total number of indexes will be the sum total of all the keys of the inner dictionary and for the matching inner dictionary. So if they are different, then how many keys it will be? All the sum total of all the dictionaries. Means P1, P2, P3, P4 here. Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4. So here all total we will have 8 keys. But here we will have only the 4 keys. The outer dictionary. Okay, and the non-matching keys what will have and for a matching key the value of that particular key will be none, and for a non-matching key, okay, sum total of the and the inner dictionary, and for a non-matching key, it should be non-matching key, the value of the particular key will be none. Okay, so let us do this one also. I'm just making it this comment line. Okay, so I'm using here 2010 quality. So these are the P1 I have used as a production value. That is like this. I have assumed it as a production of any crop or something which is in the tones. 67 tones, for example, 67,000 tones. Okay. So this I have created the first inner dictionary. Similarly, I will create the 3 more dictionary and just copy paste it. I will change the number here, or it will take more time. So it was 12. So value is 4, 5. And this 14. Any value you can use. Okay, so these were the inner dictionary. Then I am creating an outer dictionary using the values of this inner dictionary. So these are the key values I am using here, and the values of this key are the inner dictionaries. Okay, so early 2012. I'm not using any type of quotation here because this is the numeric value and these are the dictionary value only. Okay, they are not string value. That's why I'm not used any quotation here. Okay, now I will use this dictionary to create the data frame. Okay, then I will print it. So after creating this dictionary, okay, dictionary of dictionaries, and creating the data frame using this dictionary, so what will the output? Let's just check here. Okay, I'm just running it. So can you see here? So this is the dictionary object. So where what we have done is that the first one here. Okay, before this, I want to show you. Okay, it is the P1, P2, and all the keys values are of same. So what will the value here? So it is the key values of the all the inner dictionary will take as the index, okay, row index, and the key value of the outer dictionary will take as the column index. Okay, so these are the values for each and every values of the keys. Okay, P1, this is the values of for different keys here. Okay, now what if the columns, sorry, if the keys of all the dictionaries, inner dictionaries, are not equal? In that case, what will be the output? Okay, so here I have just given here, when the keys of all the inner dictionaries are of the same name and numbers, the data frame object also have the same number of indexes. But if they are of different, then the total number of indexes will be the sum total of all the keys of the inner dictionaries. And for a matching, it should be not matching. Okay, sorry for a typing mistake. For a non-matching key, the values of that particular key will be none. Okay, so here all the keys values of the inner dictionaries are same, but here one of the value of the inner dictionary is not same. So what will happen in this case? I'm just changing the code here. Instead of this P1, I'm using Y1, Y2, 4, and I will run it. Can you see here? Same here, the column names, the outer dictionaries keys are same, but the inner dictionary you have some of the values was P1, P2, P3, and P4. Some of the values was Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4. So all the keys will be the sum total of all the keys values of the inner dictionaries. Okay, and these are the values which is not matching. Here P1 don't have the value as 2012. You don't have P1, but you have Y1. So here you have name, but in Y1 you don't have the value for 2010 and 2014. So the non-matching keys will have the value none. Okay. Now let us move to the next part, how to create a data frame for a 2D ND array. So what is a 2D ND array? So it has any type of array which is two-dimensional. Okay, so it also contains row and columns. Okay, so array, you know that what is an array? Array is a data structure having similar type of values. So we can create a data frame using a 2D NumPy array having the same n and n. This is the rows and this is the numbers of columns. Okay, so you generally know you have to import the Pandas library to execute any data frame. Here, as we are creating the data frame using the NumPy, we also have to import the NumPy module, and here the alias name np I have given. Here it should be I, it should be small letter. It is for typing mistake. It's coming here capital I. It should be small letter. Now let us understand the code. Here this is the array object. Okay, this is the name of the identifier. You can give it any name following the rules of the identifier. I have used the alias name of the library numpy np, and using this library I'm calling the function array to create an array data object. Okay, so this is the two values of the array to the key. So one here you have how many rows? You have three columns, 1, 2, 3, and you have two rows, 1 and 2. Okay, these values are determined, each and every value is determined as the rows, and inside the rows, if inside each and every value, if you have another value, it's determined the column. As by default, the array value always take the data type as float. So I want to make it as an integer. That's why I have changed the data type as using the data type argument np.integer32. Okay. So using this array, I am creating the data frame dtf1. So this is the array. So I am printing it. So what I have done is that in the second data frame, I am creating a second data frame. I'm using the same array, but here I have not used any column name or column index or row index. So by default, it will take the value 0, 1 like this. Okay, up to the range of the array. So here I have used the column name. Okay, I have used a different column name. So instead of 0, 1, it will type as first, second, third. Here in the third one, I have used the index name also. So let us see how it will come. Okay. So you have 1, 2, 3 columns and you have index AB. It should be all AB. Okay, not AB. So let us check it out. I have already written the code here. So this is the code here. I'm not here. I will not print this data frame here. So I'm just printing this data frame here and I will check. So first of all, what I will do is that I will just use dtf1 equal to pd dot data frame and err1. Okay, I am not using any column name and all. So what will happen here? See. So let us check here. So you have 0, 1 here in. I have not mentioned the column name and the row name. That's why it has mentioned a 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now if I want to mention the column index and the row index, you can write instead of this one, you can write this code. Okay. So you can see here this row as first, second, third, and here you have the row. You have two rows here. That's why I have written A and B here. Okay. So the next way how to create a how to create a data frame using a 2D dictionary with the values as a series object. So the dictionary will have the values as a series object. So here let us understand the code first. So here what we have done is that we have created a series object. So what's a series? Series is also a data structure of Python. It's a one-dimensional data structure. Okay. Here, but what we have here, we have the index value where we can change the index value also. It is like the array, but we can have different values in a series, and we can also change the index value of the series. Okay. Now this here we have created the series using the list as elements as a list. Okay, if you don't mention the index, by default it will go from 0, 1, 2 like this, but here I have mentioned the index, so it will start from 1, 2, 3, 4 as I have mentioned the value here. You can give different index value also. Similarly, marks is another series object, grade is another series object. You can see that all the index value of all the three index series are equal. Okay, then I have created one dictionary, and this is the key value of the dictionary, and the value of this key is a series. Each value of the different key are different series. Okay, here I have created another dictionary. Instead of the key value 0, 1, 2, I have used the string value name, marks, and grade. Don't get confused with this name and this name. This name is a key value, it's a constant value. Okay, and here this name is the value from this key, which is the value from the series object. Similarly for the marks and the grade. Okay, so we will just see how it will look if we define the key value with 0 and we define the key value with name. Okay, so I have already written the code here. You can see the code here, and see here name I have given here written, then marks, then grade. So it's dictionary. If I will print this one, okay, how it will look if I will print with the name, how it will look. Okay, so let us check up to this much only. This one also I will explain. Just let us first see how it will look if we run this one. Can you see here? So these are the series value. Okay, This is a series value of the first series name was name, and the second series name was marks, and third series name was B. But this is the name of the series, but the name it is taken the key value of the dictionary. Okay, so if here the next one I have given the key value as name. So these are the key values which of the dictionary. Okay, with the help of which we have created the data frame, and these were the index values of the series, which is also from as the index value of this data frame. Okay, now if I want to, by default it is coming in some ways here, name, marks and grade. Okay, if I want to display the marks first in the first column, then the name, then grade, how we can do it? So here by default the column names are coming from the key values of the dictionary. So if I want to arrange the column according to our ways, what we can do is that we can simply write a code like this. Similarly, instead of the, here we have not mentioned the column, we are mentioning the columns here. So instead of the name first, it will come marks, because we have mentioned here as the marks. So this is the key values of this. Okay, marks was a, this was a key value of this dictionary. So marks it will come, then the name, then grade. Okay, so when I will run this one, I will run the F3 one. You can get to know about the difference between these two. Can you see here? I have changed the column name and have used it intentionally. I have written here marks first and name grade. Accordingly, it is coming. So mind it, this one, this code, this marks you are taking the key value, not the series value. This was the key values of the dictionaries. Okay, then only it will come this as it is. If we denote the marks here instead of this key value, the marks, if you write like this, then if you take the series subject, in that case it will give you a different result. Okay, now the next is that how, next part is how we can create a data frame from another data frame object. So similarly, just what we have created here, we can use any data frame. How we have created data frame using list, either using a dictionary or 2D array or a series, and then put it as a data for creating another data frame, as we have done here. DTF4 equal to dt dot data frame, and we can print it. So we have already done here. So I have already written the code here. I have just given the name here, and I will run it. So this is the data frame, same data frame. Okay, this was the data frame from the this one df2, and this because the data frame I have created from df2, not df3. So this one and this one are similar. So these are some of the ways through which we can create a data frame. There are other ways also by which we can create data frame. So these are some basic ways for which we have created the data frame using list and the arrays series. Okay, I hope you have understood how to create the data frame, and in this session we have discussed what is a data frame, how we can create a data frame using different ways. Okay, in our next series we will discuss about some operations in data frame and other such topics. Okay, if you have any doubt or if you have any type of queries, please write your queries in the comment box. Okay, thank you.